Bullock in the bunch. I'm here, Peter Lancaster, my co-host.
How you guys doing tonight?
My other guy over in the books there, William Washington.
What's going on, guys?
And hey, once again, our resident bookie, Rocky. Don't call me the Sanchez. What's going on, man?
Not much. Always a pleasure to be here.
We're grateful to have you back-to-back nights. It's huge. It's huge. That is a huge part of the stuff.
I appreciate that.
Speechless. Hey, just before we get things going, John Mayer comes out and says, what he said on Jessica Simpson. Come on now. He would pay $10,000 just to bang her every single time.
John Mayer said this?
John Mayer said she was the best lay.
I missed this.
The best lay he's ever had.
Wow.
I can believe it. Why not?
I mean, dude, supposedly she was one and done after Nick Lachey. She lost her V card to him.
She's got that like southern mentality though.
Oh, John Mayer.
John Mayer.
What I would do to
Fuck
be you,
no.
bro.
Yeah, right.
John Mayer.
Lucky man.
Just got
What
done
I
banging
do.
Aniston, didn't he? This guy's just calling out everyone
he's
now.
He's a
picking up.
stud.
Yeah, he's fighting the good fight.
Oh my God, yeah.
Living the good life, yeah.
So, New England Patriots. Of course, the draft's coming up. I'm sure we all know because of the coverage has been so ridiculous the last month or so. But we're still about a month away. But with that coming up, free agency. Something coming up today that Greg Olsen, tight end for the Chicago Bears, who, University of Miami product, is one of the better tight ends, I think, in the league as a receiving tight end. New England Patriots are interested in maybe adding him for a second-round draft pick. Rumors have been made that he wants to get dealt due to the fact that Mike Martz is coming there as offense coordinator and really doesn't do too much with tight ends in the offense. What do you guys think about that? I personally love the move. I love the move because you have a guy like Greg Olsen coming in and being that receiving threat that we've yet to see the Patriots have at tight end. And it's something that fits in their offense.
Well, is it really something that fits into their offense? I mean, they have never, Ben Watson, even though he does struggle, he can't catch a ball to save his life sometimes, but still, they really never look to use him as a big part of their offense.
But you have to look at it this way. They haven't had a guy to come in and be that type of tight end for him. Go down the list. Since the first Super Bowl championship, the first Super Bowl. Right?
Yeah.
Look who your tight ends are there. There's nothing that stands out there, and they've never really had it in the offense. They were a vertical passing game.
Coates.
They weren't a vertical passing game until they got Randy Moss.
They've yet to have a running back, and they've yet to have a tight end. I can't see how this would make them worse. It could only make them better.
I think it's a sexy pickup.
I can't see how you can't like this.
They have
for a second-round pick,
Then they have three of them to work with.
You're not going to get
second-rounders.
anything worth what you're going to get out of Greg Olsen in the draft this year for tight ends, if that's what they were looking for.
Brady has shown that he likes going to his tight end down the seam.
Oh, I think
they
he
tried
can
setting that up all the time with Ben Watson, except when you have two cinder blocks for hands, you're kind of fucked.
Then again, well, the Pats do like tight ends who can block, though.
That's true.
Now, how is Olsen as a blocker? I don't think he's. I don't want to say he's the best.
No,
blocker
I
in the
agree.
league.
I agree, but it would also.
Better than
I would
Watson?
think you'd
Probably
be
not.
a two tight end system. What I mean, you have to bring someone else in. They've rotated three tight ends before.
Yeah.
And it's something I think that they want now. So maybe they can have that receiving threat. But it also does seem the Patriots make these moves all the time, and they never work. It could be just another one of those moves.
I mean, Olsen's coming off a great year: 60 receptions, 8 TDs, 600+ yards. I mean, what was the last? Pats haven't had
the thing
that.
is it wasn't the Patriots'
tight end.
offense that was the problem last year. And
Well, it wasn't, but you could always look at
You can always upgrade somewhere.
And upgrade.
That's how I feel about it.
you can upgrade your weaknesses.
And now that you say that, speaking of the defense, which was abysmal last year, guys didn't perform. Guys did not perform to where they were supposed to.
A lot of just mental lapse of just.
They were a bad defense last year.
They weren't too talented either. I mean, you got a guy like Tully Bantigan who had a career year, but still, he's
But
like
he shouldn't be counted on
2 years
making
ago.
that much playing time.
Yeah, 2 years ago when he was on this team, no one was like, "Oh, Tully Bantigan's going to be starting here in 2 years." No, he was a reserve. He was a special teamer.
But he was a special team.
The problem is all the guys got old on the Patriots defense, and now it's rebuilding.
Oh, yeah,
That's like every team.
We
You
talked
gotta
about this.
rebuild at
We
some
talked about
point.
this on the first night. Was that you look at that defense and it looks like a bunch of guys who are just trying to plug holes.
Exactly.
When you go out and sign 42-year-olds because they fit in your system, I mean, you can't have 4 of those guys because that's what they have. And their pass rush was horrible last year. And on that
It
note,
was anorexic.
Adalius Thomas.
Who was supposed to be the guy to give them
One of
some
those
pass rush.
freak guys.
Who we also talked about the first night,
Yep.
was that he was a guy that everybody fell in love with because Baltimore lined him up at cornerback one play. You know, that's why he got blown up to be this type of player, I feel in my mind. I mean, don't get me wrong, he had some great years in Baltimore. But still, what put him over the top, people raved about his athleticism, was because he lined up at cornerback for a play. Anyway, he tells Bart Scott down in Miami during the Super Bowl weekend, Super Bowl week, excuse me, is that he guarantees he will be released by the Patriots this year. Now, mind you, this is a $5 million cap hit if the Patriots do release him. If you do release him, what in the hell do you do with this pass rush? Is that a lock for Julius Peppers to be signed?
You gotta have Peppers signed, sealed, and delivered.
Well,
I
you
think,
got-
and you gotta be right
The
at
Bears
that.
are making the move on Peppers right now.
Yeah.
That's
Is the
true.
issue.
That's true, and ESPN reported that today. But I'm sure that the Patriots, knowing now after this that if they do release him, they are going to make a serious move. I think you have to. You absolutely have to, because you're not going to fill these guys, these holes with guys in this draft. You know.
Peppers though, it's just that the money. You know, the Pats aren't willing to spend that much right now.
So, Wash, what's the exact story with was Bart Scott on Mike and Mike in the Morning this morning, and what was reported of this?
Yeah, Bart Scott went on Mike and Mike in the Morning yesterday, and he was talking. He spoke with the Pats linebacker about reuniting on the Jets, and Scott said, "It's funny. I was hanging with Adalius Thomas for Super Bowl weekend. We're buddies from back in the day. He made it public and that he's expressed interest in joining Rex. I think some of his better years of his career have been a part of the Ravens defense and under Rex Ryan's tutelage. It'll be exciting." So he thinks it's locked. He thinks Thomas a Jet next year.
See,
But this is Bart Scott talking.
This could be exactly Bart Scott, who went out there and made an ass of himself
Just
in week 2 or 3 because Miami Dolphins beat them, and he goes out there and says, "We outplayed them. We're the better team." And it's like, dude, seriously. But that's not the point. The point is that this guy could be shooting his mouth off. You're down there, you know. I'm sure you're drinking pretty good down there.
Oh yeah.
You know, this could have been a conversation amongst that. I'm not sure how sold I am on this report, just because.
Take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, it was Miami. It's
Yeah.
Florida. You know, you're down there on vacation practically. You know, I don't know.
Everyone does it. Everyone says things
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
always,
There's
everybody
one
says
moment like
that. Every person says, "Yeah, I'm going to do that. Definitely, I'm going, man."
Professional
Hey,
athletes do the same thing. They like to
yeah,
talk. They
they
like to
do.